Welcome to Had a Magical Day, the podcast about Disney parks that's like taking a vacation in the middle of your day. Hello and welcome to another episode of Had a Magical Day. This is one of our news episodes. This is the latest news you can use as of January 19th, 2024. So without further ado, let's get started with the latest news from Disney World. So to recap some of the changes we talked about last time that went into effect on January 9th, there are now no more reservations needed. If you have a dated ticket, you don't need a reservation. What does that mean? That's basically any ticket other than annual pass holders. There's also unlimited park hopping, whereas before you could only park hop after 2 p.m. Now you can park hop any time of day if you have a park hopper ticket. Also, the dining plans are back. I think we talked about this last time. Quick service dining plans, $57.01 for 10 and up and $23.83 for kids 3 to 9. The standard dining plan is $94.28 for 10 and up and $29.69 for kids 3 to 9. Here's the thing I didn't talk about last time, I just found out about. So it's actually, the dining plans are being offered free for Disney Plus subscribers on select dates between July 1st and September with a non-discounted travel package, meaning you're staying at a Disney hotel and you're buying the park hopper tickets as part of your package. But if you're doing that, a lot of people are doing that anyways, you have a chance of getting free dining plans if you have Disney Plus. Also, the Genie Plus, the prices went up, but now you can reserve rides ahead of time before you get to the park, and you also get the photo pass included. And last time we mentioned the good to go days were announced for annual pass holders, that there would be some days where they can just go in without a reservation, because otherwise they still need reservations. As I mentioned before, the no reservation rule apply to dated tickets and not annual pass holders, but they're giving them some select dates where they can go in the park. And they just announced the first bunch of them. Some of them are already in the past, unfortunately, but it's January 16th, 18th, and then going forward, there's the 23rd, 24th, 28th of January, and February 1st. And here's just a general tip I read online, at least online recently, and wanted to share with everybody. If you have an emergency when you're at Disney World, it is actually better to text 911 than to call. You'll get a faster response if you text. So remember that next time you're in Disney World. They announced some new tickets going on sale for new dates for the after-hour events. This is something I haven't talked about before. So after-hour events, there's special events that we've talked about, which is, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas and the Halloween event that are after hours in the parks. But they just have these generic after-hour events, which are just basically 3 extra hours in the park with less crowds and most of the rides running. So they've announced that tickets for dates starting April 22nd are going to go on sale January 31st. But hotel guests, so in other words, if you're staying at a Disney hotel, you can book as early as January 24th. So in other words, they've already announced some of these after-hour events for earlier in the year, starting January through April. But there's going to be some new dates from April 22nd onward that are going on sale January 31st or January 24th if you're staying at one of the Disney hotels. So today's January 19th. That's 5 days from now. So what is these events I mentioned? It's like 3 hours in the park after hours. So for Magic Kingdom, it's $155 to $175, which the price varies by date. You get $30 off if you're a pass holder or a Disney Vacation Club member. And it's for select nights between January 11th and June 27th. So previously it was up to April 8th, but they're announcing these new dates. So from April 9th to June 27th, the select nights there will be on sale starting January 31st or January 24th if you're a hotel guest. You go in at 10 p.m. to 1 p.m. Those are the 3 hours extra that you get, but you can enter the park at 7 p.m. And so there's a special fireworks event for the after-hour event. If you go in at 7, you can see the regular the fireworks event, as well as the new one, which is Enchantment. So you can see Happily Ever After before 10 o'clock, and then you can see Enchantment at the after-hour event. Hollywood Studios, similar setup. So, but their dates are January 10th to August 29th. So previously they announced up to April 10th, but now it's extending to August 29th, select nights. Same pricing, $155 to $175, but their time is 9:30 to 12:30. And again, there you can enter at 7 p.m. also. And Epcot, February 2nd to July 18th, selected dates. Previously, it had been announced up through April 4th. So the 5th to July 18th are the new dates that are going on sale. There's a slightly cheaper, $149 to $159. And again, I believe both at Hollywood Studios and Epcot, the pass holders and Disney Vacation Club members get $30 off. 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., just like Magic Kingdom, and you enter at 7 p.m. And tax is not included, but the price does include free popcorn, ice cream, and drinks. So at select stands throughout the park, you can get free ice cream, whichever ice cream they've decided to let you have, and popcorn and drinks being mainly water and soda and maybe some other things, but non-alcoholic drinks, just the typical types of drinks you get at the park at the little popcorn stands. So that's the after-hour events. Now let's look at the different individual parks. So Magic Kingdom, the Fort Wilderness Cabins, we talked a little bit about the redesign last time and how it's not getting great reviews because it's very generic. That opens July 1st. That's been announced. Country Bear Jamboree closes January 27th and opens later this summer. I think we talked about that last time. But the reason why I'm talking about it again is that they've given us a little bit of a preview of what they're doing to the Country Bear Jamboree. And so they had a video. If you go to the Disney website, there's a video with the musicians creating new music for the attraction. Each of them is kind of playing along with a little plush version of one of the bears. And the bears are all the same from the show. So I think that's good news for people who love the ride, don't want to change too much. I think they're going to have many, if not all, the same bears, but they're changing some of the music. So there's going to be some of the old music still going to be there, but they're making some new music as well. And I guess that's not too surprising. I've often thought the last few times I've been there that some of these songs aren't really politically correct anymore. Saying you're gonna instead of whoop little Buford, you're gonna shoot him instead. That seems a little off color given the amount of gun violence we have in this country. So things like that, they're probably some of those songs are going out and being replaced with new songs, but they're keeping most of your favorite bears are going to be there. So shouldn't change that much, hopefully. Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So they just announced the animatronics will have physical faces. You may notice there's been a trend on some rides, like I think the Frozen Ever After in Epcot, where they don't do physical faces of the animatronics, they just project the face onto the animatronic. So the body is animatronic, but the face is kind of blank, but they project the animated face on there, which looks great. I mean, it looks like exactly like the animation that you saw in the movie Frozen. But having the full animatronics to me is more of a magical thing. And that's what they're doing with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They're going to have full animatronics. So Tiana's going to be there. There's going to be several versions of her throughout the ride. She'll be talking to you. And they revealed some of the story behind the ride. Going to join Tiana and Louis on a musical adventure as they prepare for Mardi Gras. And Tiana is living out her dream of owning a restaurant called Tiana's Palace. And so this is actually going to be a physical restaurant in Disneyland in 2024 called Tiana's Palace. And she's going to send us to get missing ingredients for a dish that she's making for Mardi Gras. And she'll talk to us throughout the ride, probably instructing us, giving us hints of how to find these ingredients that she needs. So that's the latest there. In Epcot, Frozen Ever After is going to be closed November 2nd to the 6th. And the Cali River Rapids is going to be closed January 8th to mid-March of this year. And the Festival of Arts is ongoing as we speak, January 12th to February 29th. And I wanted to show you some of the food here at this thing. So if you haven't been before, this is like a mini version of the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. And if you notice, this is the time of year that we talked about in our last episode about doing a lot of rides. This is a good time of year to go where it's not too crowded in the park, late January. That's why they had this festival. That's why a lot of these festivals and events originated early on, because they're trying to get more people into those parks because they weren't very busy. Like the idea between the four parks is to spread the crowds out so that now not one park is at 100% capacity and another park's at 50% capacity. The idea is to have all four like 80, 85% capacity, 90% capacity. And so to do that, they started creating these events to try to get more people into some of these other parks. That's why you have the Food and Wine Festival. That's why you have even Disney originally, a lot of people didn't go in winter during the holidays. So they created these holiday events and now people go, and it's a big thing to go and it's very crowded. So that's why they have these events. That's why you have Festival of Arts as this time period. It's kind of a slow time. It's like a mini version of Food and Wine Festival. It's lots of great food, not too crowded. Not wine, though. There's not a wide selection of wine like there is at the Food and Wine Festival. There are some adult beverages as well, but some of this food is the same, a little bit the same as the Food and Wine Festival. And there's some popular ones that come back every year. So I wanted to share some of those straight from the Disney blog page and go through some of those and make us all hungry. So this is the Disney Parks blog, the official blog of Disney Parks. So you can see it at disneygo.com. And they're talking about the Festival of the Arts and the food here, which I really want to go through. So they're going to bring back favorites like the red wine braised beef short rib, and that is really good. I've had that before. And they always have some sort of short rib dish at either here or the Food and Wine Festival, and it's always really good. Is the deconstructed key lime pie that they're bringing back as well. I have not had that, but that looks delicious. And a bunch of new food and desserts. I mentioned the grilled pork belly and the Neapolitan dessert trio that they think are going to be fan favorites, but we'll see about that. Pork belly, I love, and sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's not great if they overcook it a little bit. But here in the deconstructed dish, so there are different sections, different stands as you go through the World Showcase and as you approach the World Showcase. So this is the deconstructed dish, and this is the one that has the deconstructed key lime pie, which is this image here on the right for those of you who are looking at our YouTube channel. There's some cuisine classics, which is beef Wellington and cast iron roasted PEI, Prince Edward Island mussels. And then there's Figment's Inspiration Station at the Odyssey, art, food, and little sparks of magic. And here they have a blueberry-filled pastry tart, which basically looks like a fancy Pop-Tart. And then the rainbow cake with freeze-dried Skittles, bite-sized candies on it. And apparently that is a trend. I saw a post at somewhere else about a new dessert on Main Street, which also has Skittles on top. That's supposed to be good. That's more of a red cake thing. And here also is for those on YouTube, the picture of the Figment popcorn bucket. I saw a friend who was there recently, and she posted a picture of it, and I couldn't understand how it was Figment. It's the building in which Figment and Journey to Imagination is held in. But if you look inside carefully in the popcorn box, you'll see that there's actually a plastic Figment on top of a rainbow in there. So it's very popular popcorn holder. And in general, I don't usually talk about things like popcorn holders and different souvenirs that are on sale at the park. If you guys would like to hear more about that, let me know either in comments or you can send me an email at info@hadamagicalday.com. But basically, I like to stick to events in the parks and things that help you have a good time in the park. There's Craftsman Courtyard, which has some sandwiches there, pork belly, and a grilled marinated steak skirt. I wanted to get to the Pastoral Palette, which looks really like a place you want to make sure you hit up if you're going there. Red wine braised short rib. That's the popular one that comes back every year, pretty much, with parsnip puree, broccolini, baby tomatoes, and balsamic glaze. And then this Black Forest cake. It's chocolate mousse with morello cherries and chantilly cream. And that looks really delicious, as does the dessert at the artist table, which is a hummingbird cake with banana and pecan cake dipped in cream cheese icing with caramel sauce and warm pineapple compote. So that looks pretty awesome as well. I'm going to hit mostly the desserts real quick here and then move on. But at the Tangerine Cafe, Flavors of Medina, there is a chocolate cake with pomegranate mousse and pomegranate whipped cream. That looks yummy, especially if you like pomegranate, obviously. And then I imagine the station must be near Mexico somewhere. Vibrante and Vivito and Canto Cochina. It has passion fruit filled mango cheesecake with coconut pineapple cake, dragon fruit gelée, and dragon fruit strawberry sauce. That looks awesome as well. And then I'm just going to skip down. There's so many good things. I can't go through all of them. You can find them online in lots of different places. A lot of bao buns. There's Asian food here as well, some shumai. And then I just want to get down to the showcase, Swirled Showcase, which is this funnel cake, a crazy chocolate funnel cake sandwich, mini funnel cake sandwich with vanilla ice cream, rainbow whipped cream, strawberry sauce, powdered sugar, and sprinkles. I always get funnel cake when I'm there. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. And they always have something special for these events. And this is the one for the Festival of the Arts, this crazy chocolate funnel cake. So check that out. Leaving Disney World, we now head over to Disneyland. So World of Color 1 will reopen on January 19th, which is today. And they also have the Lunar New Year celebration coming up, January 23rd to February 18th. So a lot of interesting food there. And the Magic Pass sales have been halted for all four tiers. So that's their annual pass holder program. They have four different levels to it, and it's sold out instantly the day it went up for sale. There are long lines. I saw some video online. It's like 4 hour waits for these passes. I think a lot of people did not get them, and now you can't get them, and it's unclear when they'll be available again for sale. And then they have the Pixar Fest, April 26th to August 4th. So you'll love all things Pixar. You should go check that out. There's parades and all kinds of events and special characters that you get to see. And that's it for Disneyland. And then over to Disneyland Paris, January 25th. So just almost a week from now, a little bit less than a week. They're going to have the debut of the refurbished Disneyland Hotel with Disney Princess theme. So it's the high-end hotel. It's their best hotel there in Disneyland Paris. And if you book a stay there, it includes a private 15-minute meet and greet with a Disney princess. So it's just your child and the princess one-on-one with you guys, with your adults there to watch and take pictures. But it's a pretty steep price. It's average cost a night is around $1,000 a night. So if you really want some one-on-one time with the princess, you can get it, but it's going to cost you. And then there's ride closure update. So we mentioned this in the last news update a month ago. A lot of the rides were going to be closed temporarily in Disneyland Paris, but they shifted the closure of the Phantom Manor from March 11th. Now it's going to be March 18th to March 29th. But the other rides that we mentioned before are still going to be closed March 11th to March 22nd. So if you're going there during that time, be prepared that several rides are going to be closed. And that is it for our updates. So that is the news for as of January 19th, 2024. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.